Today we're going to talk about multiplying decimals. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at how multiplying decimals and multiplying fractions are similar. The first thing we want to do is estimate a reasonable answer. So when I look at this, if I have 1 and 45 hundredths, in my head I'm going to think that's really close to 1 1/2. And then I want to multiply that by 9/10. Well, 9/10 is really close to 1. So I know if I do 1 1/2 times 1, I'm going to get an answer that's close to 1 1/2. Now that estimate's going to help me when I use my standard algorithm in terms of finding the correct answer. When I use my standard algorithm, what I want to do is I want to multiply these numbers as if they're not decimals. I'm not even going to write the decimal points, okay, because I don't want those to confuse me. So I'm going to multiply this 145 times 9. I'm not going to worry about my decimals just yet. So the first thing I'll do is 9 times 5, which is 45. And then I'll do 9 times 4 is 36, plus 4 is 40. And 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Now when I multiply these whole numbers, I can see that it's really big, 1,305. But what I want to do is I want to look back to my estimate. My estimates and my answer has to be close to 1 1/2. So what I want to do is think about this number and say, okay, where can I put my decimal point to give me an answer that's close to 1 1/2? If I put it here, that is not close to 1 1/2. There's no whole values. But if I put my decimal point here, I have 1 and 305 thousandths. That's pretty close to 1 1/2 because 500 thousandths would be 1/2. So let me show you something else. If I put it here, then I have 13 wholes. That's not close to 1 1/2. If I put it here, I'm getting even further away, 130. That won't work. And over here, 1,305. So I can tell that my decimal point needs to go right here because I estimated the product would be close to 1.5, 1 1/2. So the decimal has to go after the 1. Now let me show you how we can also do this problem using fractions. We know that decimals and fractions are related. This is 1 and 45 hundredths, which is actually the same as saying 145 hundredths. Okay, and we're going to multiply this times 9/10, which is the same if we write it as a fraction as 9/10. Now what I want to do is I want to multiply 145 hundredths times 9/10. When I do that, 145 times 9, I know from over here, was 1,305. Now if I do 100 times 10, that gives me 1,000, which really 1,305 thousandths, this is the same as 1 and 305 thousandths. Okay? Because this improper fraction can be changed to a mixed number. And look, 1 and 305 thousandths is exactly how we would say this decimal if we use our place value. 1 and 305 thousandths. So multiplying fractions and multiplying decimals are very similar.